Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Living on Blockchain. Today, we are speaking to Laurent. Laurent is the CEO and co-founder of Arthera. It's a Layer 1 EVM-compatible and DAG-based blockchain platform. He is also the founder of Web3 Stronger Together initiative and a former Tron DAO blockchain advisor. So he has extensive experience in tech of over 30 years, like he mentions in the conversation. And this was an interesting conversation because even though a lot of folks are doing this subscription model, like Scale, for example, or Arcana, their approach involves having an app store as well as a pay as you go model, which is very interesting, and they have implemented it successfully as well. So I can't wait for you guys to hear this. Let's deep dive right in.
Hi, Laurent. Thank you so much for making the time to speak to me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Tarusha. Thanks for this invitation. We are currently in a perpetual race.
Right. Absolutely. I think in Web3, mostly all founders feel that way. So, for our listeners, can you tell us a little about yourself and how you got into Web3?
So I have to start saying I'm mostly 51. I'm 51 years old in 1 month.
Okay.
And I have been contributing now with modesty to build the web since mostly 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Quite a long
No,
time.
even more, sorry, 30 years.
Wow.
I started, I was 21. I have been really early in what we call now Web 2, cloud computing and the SaaS industry. It
Right.
was really the beginning of the beginning. I have been evangelizing and converting big companies and then S&P to adopt Google Cloud, Google Apps, called at this time Google Apps, now Google Workspace, Zoho, CRM, Salesforce, and all well-known SaaS solution we are using now. I have been advising big companies and startup last 20 years in their digital transformation and business efficiency. A
Wow.
lot of startup also SaaS strategy.
Right.
I discovered decentralization innovation. We call it Web3 now. In 2015, when I read for the first time the Satoshi Nakamoto white paper. I'm not a technical guy, so I had to spend some time to understand the technical innovation. And at the moment, I simply renounced, telling to myself that reconsider this as a piece of philosophy, because I think we miss this point. It's first a piece of philosophy. It's a promise. And since then, I used to spend 1 hour with myself, and Satoshi Nakamoto white paper each Saturday morning. During 1 hour, it's my philosophy time. It's opening doors. I'm a real believer in decentralization and bringing this opportunity to each one and everyone everywhere. And since 2017, I have advised several Web3 startup and big projects. And now since a few months, fully dedicated to build Arthera.
Wow. Okay. So can you this is quite a wonderful journey, and I love the fact how you were you had like all the requisite experience from Web 2, and then you transitioned to Web 3 when you came across the Bitcoin white paper. And I think this goes for a lot of folks who had joined in the Web 3 space as we call it now, probably like a decade and a half back, where at that point there was no term like Web 3.0, and we came very organically into the space because we fell in love with the ethos, perhaps, or that were written and put forward in the Bitcoin white paper. So your journey has been fantastic so far. Now, can you provide like a brief overview for Arthera and its unique features as an EVM-compatible layer one blockchain? And then, perhaps I would love to know about the DAG-based, proof of stake consensus model as well.
Yeah, I think I don't want to dive too much in the technical aspect
Right.
because I
Yeah.
think
It'll become too complex. Yeah.
yeah, and it's the main common mistake we are all doing in Web3 when we talk about mass adoption. Let me explain. As I told you, I have been using the web now since more than 30 years.
Right.
And there is two main innovation. I have been lucky enough to take part in emergence and mass adoption, internet and the mobile phone innovation. And I can't forget how it was at the beginning. People often are telling that if we didn't get yet the mass adoption we are talking about now since more than a decade, saying, look, it's around the corner. Each time I look at the corner, I block my neck and I see nothing coming. We are waiting for mass adoption like we are waiting for Godot.
Right.
In fact, we forget that the main factor of mass adoption is not any technical improvement. It's first of all the cost acquisition
Right.
for both businesses and individuals. We don't have a web mass adoption because now we have the fiber connection. We have a mass adoption because due to the pricing model. Let's come back in the past and remember that at the beginning it was a pay-as-you-go pricing model. You were paying for any web page you were downloading. Everything you were doing, interacting with the web at a cost. It was the same for the mobile phone. At the beginning, it was the surprise at the end of the month. You were paying for each call, each message, everything. Nowadays, you have a subscription and you use it and that's it. You don't care anymore. You still have a quota, but you forget the quota. It took some years to define the good quota and the good pricing model, but nowadays you have several options. If it's not enough, you upgrade. If it's too much, you downgrade, and it's fixed price, predictable price for both enterprise and individuals, and we just use the technical innovation. Until now, in Web3, we apply the initial pricing model we used to experience, let's say, at the beginning of the internet revolution and the mobile phone revolution. We have to keep in mind, again, the history of the web and the mobile phone revolution. It started with a pay-as-you-go business model. Then we have been able to subscribe to package by package, a fixed price for a fixed quota. And today it's subscription.
Right.
In our life, in our societies, everything is becoming more and more subscription-based. Even Twitter moved to a subscription-based model.
Right.
Tesla, you subscribe for your car. So what we do, we are building a layer one, fully EVM compatible.
Okay.
Improve by a DAG protocol to improve the scalability. Our own proprietary Blaze DAG protocol, the first test we made in laboratory environment, we were able to reach more than 530,000 TPS. This is for the scalability. But
Wow.
the most important thing, it's we bring back the most successful pricing and business model in Web2 that we will see in the web industry, the subscription-based model. We keep supporting the pay-as-you-go. People who want to interact time to time, paying gas fees can be. But if we want to engage people to use Web3 like they use the web, could you imagine each time you send an email, boom, transaction fees? You upload the file in Drive or Dropbox, boom, transaction fees. You like a post, boom, transaction fees. No way. Today you have a subscription. We implement a subscription-based model for both end users, dApps, and businesses. So it's a fixed price from month to month. The price is set in fiat. You subscribe, paying in fiat or in crypto, and then you just enjoy, you forget about gas fees.
Right. Yeah. So that is very, very interesting, right? Because with the pay-as-you like go model or a subscription model, it'll be easier for applications to be able to do accurate revenue forecasting, perhaps, right? This is one of the obviously the very obvious advantages that came into my head while you were talking about this.
Yeah, there is few things to consider. First, we talk about mass adoption, but we miss to talk about and analyze the current usage of early adopters. You can go on Defilama, on dApp, for example, and you check the blockchain and you analyze the number of transactions and the number of active wallets. Select a 30 days range, and you will see that for most of the blockchain, 95% of the blockchain, it's less than one transaction per day per active wallet for a 30-day period. What does it mean? That we are early, but we don't use it. How many clicks are you doing on a daily basis on the web? Hundreds, thousands of clicks. Why? Because we have all faced this issue where we wanted to make a transaction and we told to ourselves, hold on, I will wait a bit. But the transaction fees came back to a lower.
Right.
We know what it is. We have seen this last year with the emergence of a meme token, PP. Suddenly, during 1 week on ETH and all Ethereum blockchain, the fees went totally crazy. We have seen this last month with the inscription phenomena, where the fees went totally crazy, even higher than in a bull market. So it's the proof that we talk about inclusivity, onboarding the unbanked people and so on. But guys, when the transaction fees cost more than what 50% of the world population earn per day, I mean $7, doesn't work. We will not be able to onboard these people with such a pricing model. The reason why we introduce end user subscription, the basic tier costs $1 per month for up to 30 transactions per day. Then we propose a dApp subscription, and it's what we call the account abstraction next generation. Why next generation? Because it offers a predictable fixed cost for dApps who want to cover the transaction fees for their end user. For now, account abstraction is a great progress, but the project don't know how much it will cost. And if you have a use adoption, it can cost a lot, and you can't predict this. You can't set a budget because you don't know how much it will cost in 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. With a subscription-based model, it's the same price month to month, so you can predict. You can move to a more sustainable business model. And for businesses, it's the same. For them, it's like consuming any API. They choose a quota And then based on the quota, they pay the fixed price month to month.
Okay, so is this this particular way of creating a gasless experience? Are you giving a gasless experience for the users as well? Like because you are charging the businesses?
Yeah, exactly. What does it mean? It means we have several interesting use case joining, like a decentralized mail, like a Web3 cross-share, a decentralized alternative to WeTransfer. We have a Pigs Drive, a decentralized alternative to Dropbox. With our agnostic approach in terms of user onboarding, you could create your account using your email, Google logging, social logging. You start to use the web app in a free version. And if you want to upgrade, you can subscribe paying by card in fiat or in crypto. If you want to create your account using your Web3 wallet, up to you. We bring back the choice to the end user. So we engage all project joining to implement themselves a freemium model, also to open a new era of Web3 startup sustainability. We see that during all bear market, a lot of projects are just closing the door. Why? Because they don't generate enough incomes to sustain.
Right.
When you analyze the success rate in the web industry, we have to assume that 50% of the successful startup have a subscription-based model, when only 5% of successful startup have a pay-as-you-go business model. So implementing a subscription-based model increase 10 times your chance of success. The reason why we also engage project to launch their own subscription model, first offering a no gas fees experience to their end user, because it's all about facilitating onboarding. If we want to engage more people to make a try, okay, they could make a try without having to pay the cost to make a try. And with this approach, you can create your wallet. You don't need any native token in your wallet. You don't need to buy crypto first to enjoy a decentralized email provider, for example.
Right. So I think this is a very interesting use case, and you guys, I think as you mentioned, we keep talking about mass adoption, but mass adoption is gonna happen only gradually, and moreover, with this particular model, which makes it very easy for the user to start interacting with the decentralized applications, and with the sound use case, that is when really, it'll take off. Can you perhaps elaborate a little more on the DAG-based proof-of-stake consensus model, just a little bit, and what kind of sets it, what kind of makes it perhaps a USP as against other blockchains that are available? Because not a lot of them are using DAG-based.
One more time, I don't want to go, Tarusha, deep in the technical side, okay? Because I say it again, we miss the point in terms of mass adoption when everything is around.
Technical.
Yeah,
that's true. That is absolutely true.
We are all advanced people, and most of the people don't understand at all and don't need to understand this. What they need, it's a solution solving a real problem, and a solution that they can use and in an easy way. We keep forcing people to create their own non-custodial wallet, their private key. They have to buy crypto. Guys, you don't care about how SMTP is working when you send an email.
Send an email. Yeah, absolutely. Like this was more for perhaps the technical guys who actually do key in. And I'll just add, I think your perspective is brilliant and well appreciated here, because I do think that, once we get too technical and get too deep into the technicalities, we lose a certain part of the audience. And not everybody needs to really understand how the blockchain works, or different chains work, or how interoperability works, or how different chains work, and what kind of tech they are using for them to be effectively using these platforms and getting into Web3, because that kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. So, but just so that I can give a little context here, uh, directed, acyclic graphs, basically. That is like the difference there, and the guys who are perhaps curious, they can look it up, and
Yeah,
it
so
is just a different.
I will engage them to go on docs.arthera.net,
Right.
learn
Yes.
the protocol. They have all technical design. If they have any question, they can reach out. But honestly, even on stage, each time I say, guys, stop, just stop. Sincere as I'm telling the same. We stay focused on technical discussion. And the reason why we don't see more newcomers joining this crypto event, we see now a plateau in terms of Web3 community. Why? Because we are not able to talk to real people,
Yeah.
who want an alternative to Google, to Dropbox, who maybe want an alternative to their bank. But if we keep talking in a technical way, no chance to, it's easy to tell to people, educate yourself. But guys,
Yeah.
it's complex. So
Yeah,
one
it's
more
not for
time,
everyone. Yeah, it's not for everyone to get into the complexities of it. Absolutely.
yeah,
And we want more users, and users don't, as you gave a very good example. Not everybody understands how SMTP works, but everybody's sending an email. And that is exactly the way, blockchain applications should aspire to be as well. That not everybody needs to understand the technical aspects, but you're solving a problem, and that is why your
yeah,
application is sticky.
Tarusha, we constantly create new narrative
Hmm.
to try to convince ourselves that the mass adoption is coming.
Right.
Okay, it's RWA, it's liquid staking, it's inscription, ordinals, it has been NFTs, DeFi, and so on. But
Right.
listen, the real life reality is from far away from this. How many people invest in stock market? It's a small percentage
Hmm.
when you compare to the world population. But who is using an email? Who is using a messaging app? Who is using social media? Here is the mass adoption. So we
Yeah.
have also to introduce and promote different use cases. This is for a minority. DeFi is for a minority for now. And even more when you just have $50 or $100 you can invest in DeFi, and each time you want to interact, it costs you a lot in transaction fees. There is more than 300 billions emails sent per day actually.
Right. Right.
Okay, this is a
Yeah.
real use case.
Yeah.
Having decentralized alternative to the current main email provider, this is something. Why? Because when you use Gmail, you give your privacy, your data to Google. If you use a decentralized alternative with decentralized storage, you keep preserving your privacy and your data.
Hmm.
Okay, so even if we just reach 1% adoption, 1% of people sending email using a decentralized alternative, it's 3 billion transactions per day. 3
Wow.
billions.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
the whole DeFi ecosystem doesn't generate as much transaction that 1% of emails sent per day could generate.
Right. Yeah. No, that is a very wonderful way of putting it, and it's a very refreshing way, I must say, for uh, putting this in a matter of fact manner. You have also perhaps started this was something I read online, Web3 Stronger Together initiative. Can you tell us a little about that and how does it contribute to the overall development and collaboration within the ecosystem?
Yes, in fact, it was 2 years ago. I was a bit tired about facing constantly the same critics from people not involved, telling crypto, Web3, it's all about criminals, money laundering, hack, and so on. And I wanted to aggregate smart, fair, trustable, authentic people in a collaborative initiative to also show a different face of Web3. I'm not here to criticize or judge people. Each one has to assume what they do. But I wanted also to bring back first, highlighting the promise, the core value, why we are here involved in Web3. It's decentralization, more privacy, data ownership, being financially independent, having an alternative to the current solution, and showing that first of all, any innovation, it's humans co-building with humans for real humans.
Right. Wow. Okay. And how does one become a part of this initiative if they do want to contribute?
Just reach out. We plan to, we have organized a few online events. We
Okay.
are preparing a next one. The last one, we were 120 project approach. So it's really nice also to see the synergies, how projects have collaborating with others. It's a kind of emulation. It's really refreshing to cooperate with open-minded and fair and trustable people. Even more when we see on the daily basis a rug pull, hack, or whatever. We have seen, we have faced all some drama, FTX, and so on. I think it's good also to show that it's not only all about this. There is smart people around.
Right. Okay. That's wonderful. This this is an initiative I think I resonate a lot with because I do totally believe that all of these smart people in Web3 coming together, we can really make a difference. And it's only when we are working together in a collaborative way can we truly make uh, you know a a change in the way people perceive Web3, in the way perhaps builders are, taking on building in Web3 and all of that. Now coming to builders, because you have a chain and you also have an app store. So can you tell us a little about the kind of traction you have seen there in terms of users as well as the applications that are there on the store?
So for now, we are preparing what we call the grand opening, the public launch
Right.
at the end of January.
Okay.
Mainnet is live in a private version since Christmas,
Okay.
a symbolic date for Genesis block. We are onboarding more than 160 projects.
Wow.
Yeah, it's it's each day is a week.
Right.
Mid February, we will launch our grand opening. It will be 12 weeks period campaign with an incentivization program for both end users and apps. During 3 months until the end of March, there is no our native token in circulation. We really want to engage people to experiment the subscription-based model. So each one will be able to claim a free subscription 3-month subscription at the end of this month. And so they can enjoy up to 30 transactions per day, no gas fees. They can explore